This young lady's actions alone could change the entire face and trajectory of Black people. Truly, it could. Peace, love, and light, African people. It's the Goddess Neat Night. This is the Blackest truth, where I take the not so easy topic of racism, white supremacy, break it down and make it easier for us to maneuver through. I was recently scrolling on Instagram and I saw this video reposted by Shaka Bars via Baller Alert, and it showed a white student who was beating up on a fellow Black Muslim student. What was interesting is from the initial video, it looked as if there was no, I won't even keep explaining. Let's go ahead and watch this video and tell me, if your daughter was the defending student, would you be upset with her right now? Let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Now, ain't that some shit? Initially, you would have thought that there was no teacher at all. And that was my first question. Where was the teacher initially? When you first looked at this video, it seemed as if the students were just all around and she was being a bully. And the reason why she was looking around was to ensure that nobody was coming. At this point, once the Black student stepped in to defend the young girl who was getting beat up and you saw the teacher, it then made me feel at least like, oh, she wasn't looking around to see if anybody was coming. She was looking back to see if her teacher actually was going to protest her behavior. So in so many words, the teacher was allowing her to beat up on the Muslim student. And I want us to think about this. How many of you all have children? How many of them are in middle school, high school, which looked about what these students were? They look like they're in high school. How would you all have felt if you saw this video? And even if your daughters weren't the one involved, but rather your daughter was the other Muslim girl that was sitting watching, what would you think if you saw a teacher essentially allow mistreatment of a student that looked like you, that looked like your offspring? Furthermore, you're on a channel that always reiterates that all white people are racist, whether they're intentionally doing it, whether it's something conscious they're aware of, voluntary or involuntary. From the youngest to the oldest, from the sweetest to the meanest, they are all in on it. If they weren't all in on it, it wouldn't continuously be here after all of these years, and you wouldn't even have young people who have the same mentality as the older individuals. And furthermore, it wouldn't be happening in other areas outside of the United States. The fact that it is happening globally in pockets all around the world means to a degree it has to be something that is on some level agreed upon. And furthermore, why did the teacher finally jump in when the Black student came in? Once the Black student came in to defend her classmate and essentially beat up on the bully that felt like she was just gonna get away with it, now all of a sudden you see the teacher come in. What happened? What changed? I tell you what changed. The number one rule was broken, and that is Black people cannot defend themselves against white folks. In whatever fashion, no matter how big or small, the system has conditioned Black people to learn that you do not place your hands on a non-Black person, especially a person that is white. So this young queen jumping in and defending this student broke one of the number one codes of white supremacy. Not only did she make herself equal to the bully and said, okay, if you put it out there, I'm gonna give it back to you, but then she defended her race. Y'all, Black unity is totally against the code of white supremacy. And then the minute she stepped in, the teacher enacted his counter code. So not only did you put your hand on a white woman, but then you defended another Black person that looked like you. That is what we call Black unity. Oh, no. That's the second rule broken. She broke 2 rules in less than 10 seconds, and she did not even know it. And thus why I say her behavior alone could change the entire face of Black people. Imagine if this was the response of all of us, no matter in New York when the Black woman was getting beat up on the subway, no matter in the nail shops when you see Black women getting acetone thrown in their faces and you just sit back, or you are the Black neighbor who chooses to go back to the nail salon the next week. No matter if it's a situation where you see a George Floyd or a Rashard Brooks, or a situation happening on the freeway where the Black woman is getting beat up on the feeder side of the freeway, you step in. Oh my God. This young queen gave white folks something they could feel. It made my whole day. It nearly brought me to tears. It nearly brought me to tears. But seriously, something extremely problematic for me is the teacher and the student consensus. This is something that you often see, and this is why one of my personal favorite videos is hunting is a form of practice for the racist white supremacist. And the reason why is because after a while, you'll notice that this is a consensus behavior. So everyone was okay with a white student beating up on the Muslim student, but the minute the black student came in, now y'all are saying no and trying to hold her back. Where was this very same energy not even more than 15 seconds ago? The fact that y'all didn't have the same energy 15 seconds ago leads me to believe that you felt it was okay. And that's the irony of the system of white supremacy. That is the actual terror of it. That's the systemic issue. And more than anything, when we send our students, our children, our cousins, our brothers, sisters off into these environments, and we make them think that anyone who could be remotely rude to you is just ignorant, and that it is simply an isolated incident. It's not everyone in the classroom that's in agreement. It's not everyone in the school that's in agreement. And even for me to say everyone, Neith, you don't know everyone. I don't know everyone. I can simply go off the experiences. I can simply go off the repetitious occurrences, and I can simply go off what we see in the media, on TV, year in, year out, month in, month out. And that leads me to believe black people, they gotta be in on it. Y'all gotta agree with this shit. So I tell you what, young black queen, she deserves a reward. If you were the parent of the black Muslim student, what would you feel right now? What would you want to press charges against the school? If you were the parent of the young black queen who defended her, who stepped in and said, nah, you're not gonna be doing this, what would you be doing as a parent right now? And more than anything, I believe that one of the best solutions that we could do is continue to channel this energy. Give white folks something that they could feel. The system of white supremacy is so real. We feel it in our income. We feel it in our neighborhoods. We feel it when you're driving down the street and you simply are trying to get from destination A to B. But when you see that lawman, you feel something. It goes through you. It channels through you. Many of us have watched Judas and the Black Messiah. That movie makes you feel something because you know what Fred Hampton was talking about existed then and it still exists now. And you know also when you look at Judas in the movie, you're looking Nipsey Hussle's murderer right in the face. These are things that we could feel. The white supremacy is so real. It is so systemic. It is so effervescent and in our face that we can feel it. And what this black queen did is she gave them motherfuckers something that they could feel. And I was here for it. I'm here for it. I was here for it. She deserves a reward. God damn, what's her cash app? What's her name? She needs to go fund me. Like seriously, she made Black history this month. Truly, she made Black history for me. I loved it. It's the Goddess Night. This is the Blackest Truth. I'll see y'all later.